Why? What are you here for? If you're only here to make money, well, it's difficult and to make customers love you. You need to understand that the making money is the result of how you do it towards customers. It's the result. It cannot be the objective.
So hi all and welcome to a new episode of Engati Engage. I am Drishti Shah and today we have the pleasure of welcoming Silvana Buljan to our interview series. And I would like to begin with a quick intro of Engati. So Engati is the world's leading multilingual no-code chatbot platform available across 14 channels with 25,000 bots created across 186 countries in every domain and use case. Engati has also been recognized as a top platform by inc.com, Tech World, CIO, and many others. We run the Engati blog, video channel, and Engati Engage podcast, receiving upwards of 300,000 visitors annually. And now for our guest, Silvana Buljan, founder and CEO of Buljan and Partners, internationally recognized as an expert in customer-centricity management, customer experience, employee experience, CRM leadership, talent management, and customer-oriented organizational changes. Since 1998, she has been involved in client strategy projects for leading automotive, air transportation, healthcare, industrial manufacturing, financial services, and software vendor brands. Teacher, lecturer, mentor, coach, consultant, and trainer, she is the guiding beacon of the Buljan and Partners team. So, hi Silvana, we are really thrilled to have you on Engati.
Hi, thank you very much for counting with me. And thank you for the nice introduction.
So, before we start with the interview and the questions, here's a quick announcement. We have something special for all of you, so would like you all to stick around till the end of the interview. So, beginning with the first question that I have for you is, can you tell something about your start, create, engage methodology?
Yeah, see, as you indicated into the introduction, we have been involved as a company from the beginning when we were founded in 2002 in customer-centric transformation projects, starting many times with process design, technology implementation of CRM systems, then also engaging the organization, checking with customers how changes are being perceived, performed to measure their experience, their recommendation level, NPS, and so on. And every time we started a new assignment with customers or when we were explaining how we work, always there came the first question, how do you start? With what do we start? Is customer experience, customer centricity something completely new? Are we doing some of it? We are not aware of it. So based on really observing our own customers' approach, the questions that they have asked in order to know what are the steps, is there any methodology in place, we started to create this methodology to make it more understandable, more tangible, what you actually need to do when you want to transform your company from a rather product or service-oriented view to a customer-centric view that actually engages customers better and improves their overall experience with your brand and your company. So that's how Start, Create, Engage actually was co-created with customers. In the start phase, we always need to check first, how is the company doing? Are there some things that are going well? How they are measuring customer satisfaction or experience? What kind of process landscape do they have in place? Do they actually have a customer journey in place? Many times we are asked for support and then we discover that they don't even have a customer journey defined for the overall customer experience. So we just set a set of requirements, some things that you need to have or need to do in order to start creating a customer-centric company. Meaning, you need to have an overall customer journey map in place to understand your customer's reality. You need to have some KPIs and data in place regarding feedback, how you also measure some processes in terms of complaint management, for instance, the service that you deliver, also the brand awareness. So we look at all the different kinds of information, org charts as well, to understand how is the company currently performing, what kind of voice of customer programs are in place, KPIs, mission, vision as well. What do you want to be for your customer? So all this is in this start phase in order to have a sound set of requirement and base work done before we start creating. Because in the create phase, you really go into envisioning, what do you want the future experience to be? What kind of changes do you need to perform in processes and technology and talent management, understanding that the employee is the experience creator. And in this phase, it's also important when you do these design sessions to apply methods like agile design thinking, service design, service blueprints. So there are many tools and methods that you can use to really create the experience that you want to deliver as desired experience to your customers. And the engage part many times is the one that most challenging is within the organizations, because usually the initiatives around customer centricity or customer experience are led by a team, a project team or a department. They have an assignment by the organization to do something around it, but it cannot keep within one project team or one department or one area. It needs to be actually rolled out into the complete organization. This is what we call the engage part, engaging employees to understand what is different for me if I perform my daily work more with a customer-centric mindset than with a process fulfilling task mindset. What is different? So you need to engage the employees, your organization, to understand what the transformation is about and how it impacts their daily work. So they need to understand, what is a customer journey, what are touch points, how do we measure the feedback, what are the KPIs, what is the correlation between the improving customer experience and also the impact on business results, because this is why we are doing it, because we want to have better business results in terms of more profitability and a more sustainable business model and for the future. So you need to engage your whole organization.
Yeah.
On the other side, in the engage part, for customers who are advanced in customer experience, we see also the trend for customer engagement. So really being able to understand, where is my customer on a one-to-one level in his or her current customer journey? What would be the next best activity or next best offer that I as a company can provide to my customers based on their needs and preferences, not on the product that I want to sell or the service that I want to position, and really tracking this real time with technology. This is all possible today. The technology gives us these possibilities to really be on the one-to-one level, next best offer activity, to really foster more customer engagement with the data that we use. And so engaging is both, engaging with customers and with the organization to really perform the transformation. But to put it into a nutshell, it really was co-created with our customers, as we have seen the different stages or questions they would ask us when they came to, how do I do it? How do I transform my organization towards a customer-centric model?
Yeah. So, it's create is more of the understanding part of what the customers and the company wants to deliver. And then...
And awareness, and awareness as well. Awareness for senior management, especially, what it means to be a customer-centric organization.
Yes. And then creating goes about like the planning part, and then engages the implementation part of the previous two phases.
Making it happen and making it work.
Yeah. So customers' psychographics and demographics change with the location. So how can a business stay ahead in this game while keeping CX in mind?
Mm-hmm. We always recommend to keep it simple. Keeping it simple means, let's see first what is common and then look at the differences. And when we come to human psychology, we all know, independent of the geography where we are some basic human needs. That means we want to be respected. We want to feel that we are important to the company who wants to sell her products or services to us. We want to feel that the company is really putting efforts to make our experience and our interests as a good experience from our point of view. We want to also observe that customers really value, that the companies value us as customers in terms of loyalty, rewards, or whatever. So these basic needs in terms of human psychology is common all over the world.
Yeah.
Feeling respected, feeling well treated, feeling taken seriously, feeling really engaged and important. This is something that doesn't differ. And customer experience it's really about emotions. It's what I feel as a person, how I live the interaction with a company that I'm a customer of in the different phases of my customer journey. So we actually recommend to focus on this first, on the common things, and then look what is different. Because when you later come into touchpoint design, how the wow experience could look like, what the basic experience must fulfill in order to have the customer happy, they might change regionally in terms of specific geographic requirements. But if we look into the emotional part, we really focus on look at the common things first before you dig deep and make the regional differences. Otherwise, I start from looking at the differences first, and then it becomes a very, very complex.
Yes.
And the more complex it is, the more difficult it is to have to, in the engage part, really have employees on board to live this new model, and also have a clear view on what would be the next best thing for our customers, not for us, because this is what we observe as well. All the technologies that are used to improve customer service and experience, if they're not designed to really add value to the customer, they are again designed either to have, some cost savings because I substitute humans through technology, or it's really corporate centric because, again, it's something that I want to fulfill my objective and I'm not designing it from the customer perspective. This is the big challenge that we see when it comes to designing of the right technology usage within the customer journeys. Yeah. So really keep it simple from the beginning. Look at the common things before you dig deep into regional differences.
Yeah, because maybe it's better and easier to first sort out the common things, and then maybe when you want to enhance the experience, you can go about what is different.
Exactly. And and there you can do it touch point specifically. Yeah. Think of I want to create my profile on a digital platform that the company is offering me. You might have differences in the different regions by how fast it must be, what kind of personal data can be captured, what is a no-go. So these are also, you have regional legal, country-specific legal requirements that you have to consider. So all this comes really into this more specific dig deep and enhance phase, as you mentioned.
Agreed with you. Totally agreed. So how do you believe that this customer journey is going to change after the crisis we are facing?
Mm-hmm. I personally, this is really a personal view now. I have not looked at data studies, even if you have many studies now out. What is after COVID? I think it's still a big question mark for everybody. What I personally think people will do is be more conscious of where they're spending their money.
Yeah.
Also, look, we have all these discussions. What is globalization? Where are the products being produced? How can what about offshoring, outsourcing? So there are so many questions out there in the corporate landscape, because we have seen the impact if countries are locked down. Companies disappear who've been giving service to global companies all over the world, who from one day to another cannot actually give a telephone hotline to the customers to give them service. So all these things that happened will have an impact both on corporate level, but also on us as individuals, because we will start asking ourselves, so where will I spend my money? Will I go more for local businesses, local tourism to help my economy to recover again? Will I go for a globalized approach and I still keep my preferences as I had them before? What about my acquisition possibilities? Do I have to change my habits in order to be able to afford things that, I could afford before, but now I might have lost my job? or my wife or my husband might have lost his or her job. So the reality of customers changes. So we need to be able as companies to just connect to these different realities for our customers. And it starts by also asking them, where are you now? What happened to you within this pandemic? What has changed for you? And based on what has changed and the different needs, you can then, adapt to that and respond to your customers' needs. And innovating around product and services, some things you might, kind of reduce in order to actually transmit cost savings as well to your customers. Other things you might just package and say, here are different types of service, and you as a customer have the choice. And once you have the choice, you make the decision what you want, and then, it's actually what a company needs to be able to offer there. And this is really what I personally think will happen. We will start to be more conscious of where we spend our money.
Yes.
In more than just thinking of our personal experience, thinking of a wider approach. So what does it mean? What does a company stand for? Is it a local brand? Is it a global brand? Is it a brand who is giving back to society in terms of purpose? So I think we will observe more what is behind the brand that we are buying.
Yeah. And I think what lockdown has really taught us is that we have been doing expenses which were not necessary. And now that when those things are not available, we are actually might be doing better health-wise, mentally, and even to the environment.
Exactly.
So I think now people have realized that what is the necessity. Of course, luxury comes in a way, but I think people are more conscious on what they want to spend their money on.
And also the question: do I really need all that stuff that I've bought in the past?
Yes.
Do I need 10 different handbags? Do I need 50 different Corvettes? Do I need to have the selection of 25 different toothpastes when I go to a drugstore to buy a toothpaste? So I really think that we on our consuming behavior as customers will just ask ourselves different questions, be more cautious with our decisions, and this is actually the power that we have as individuals.
That's true. Completely agree with you. So, what do you think will be the CX trends that we should be expecting after the pandemic?
So the trends are really about being able to connect to customers from their reality. As I mentioned before, I need to be much more able to not only have customer journeys in place to understand customers better, but also understanding their reality in terms of the profiling segments. Still, most companies think in customer segments, not in customer personas, based on their reality and needs. So it's really this focusing on, do we have these basics that I mentioned as we do in the start phase? Do we have them in place to really be able to connect to customers? Because we've always seen what happened to the financial crisis after that started in 2008. Those companies who really had customer experience programs in place, they suffered much less from economic recovery than those who did not have it in place. So just think of now where the impact of the pandemic is much, much more than the impact of the financial crisis in 2008. So these basics I just need to have in place. And this is what I see corporations really connecting to, having these basics in place to be able to really create differential customer experiences. And that touches actually everything. It touches processes, it touches technology, it touches talent. Are my employees also enabled to deliver great customer experiences or not? All these questions that were more nice to have in the past really become a must-have if I want to be the first choice for my customers in the future. Otherwise, I will not be able to do it because I don't have the basic tools in place to be able to engage. The other extreme is that I go back into the most basic requirements and start on product and service level and just reducing prices in order to be the first choice. And again, I think this will not be enough because we will be much more conscious of our consuming behavior to support those brands who we really like as customers. And this like is more than just giving me the best price, is really what do you stand for in this world.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. That is going to change, and that will change, the buying and selling cycle also to a greater extent. So yeah.
And if we come to in terms of usage of technology, yes, I mean, trends. Technology gives us a possibility to do many things now, not only the future. Now it's more the organizational restrictions who did not support using technological trends to enhance customer experience. It's all there already. We're not using it because we have these restrictions and obstacles within our organizations. These are the biggest barriers. It's not not having innovative technologies. It's really the organizational obstacles that we have to consider.
Yes. So talking about technologies, so what do you think lies in the future of conversational intelligence and chatbots? Like, are they helping in customer service, and how is it going to be better?
They are definitely helping in customer service if it's based on the customer experience. Not, again, as I mentioned before, on just reducing costs. Because we see it. If the mindset that I used to design the technology to serve my customer, is it absolutely relevant to invest there and to be there. But if my only objective and mindset is I want to reduce costs, look at contact center technologies that also you are providing with your chatbot, for instance, for chatbot technology. If it's used to enhance the experience, it's great. If it's used to save costs, we as customers notice that. We notice that when we interact with this chatbot. And again, the future will be, as Paul Greenberg says also in his recent book, offered by the company, chosen by the customer. Be transparent about it. Tell your customers, look, you have the choice. You want to speak to a real person, you can do that. This is the cost. You are fine with a chatbot giving you the service based on AI that we have used, comparing to other customer requests, giving you the best solution, then you can go for that as well. And you have a cost reduction as well. So every advantage that we have as a company, we need to give back to our customers and let him or her decide. This is how we respect people. I give you the options as a company and you decide. And based on your decision, you will have one kind of experience or the other. One will cost you a little bit more, one will cost you less, but you have the power of decision.
Yes, that totally makes sense. And I think when it comes to more like of generic question asking, or when the user really wants a prompt reply, so like telecalling is one option, but I do not want to go about dialing 123 again.
Exactly. I mean, this is such a no-go, and look at how many companies still apply this technique. It's terrible. We don't want that. Nobody wants to listen to the different options and then memorize, oh my God, what was the number that I actually have to push now? Or no, but what I need is not really covered. So I need to wait and talk to an agent in any case. So these technologies have really not been designed customer-centric in the past by most companies.
Yeah. But now that...
Because it's about making it easier for me as a company, not making it easier for the customer.
True, really true. Because it's cost saving from my end, but not looking into how the customer is feeling, and then it's like a loss in the other way. So you're saving money, but you're not attracting customers.
The same happens with self-service. There are customers who love self-service. They love it. And they like it and they do it and they're happy with it. Others hate it. And so if I push everybody towards self-service, I do have for some of my customer personas a negative experience. So I need to give these options.
Yes, completely agree with you. So I think we would like to conclude with the interview right here. So what other thoughts you would like to leave the audience with?
I really invite the audience to really connect to their essential as a company of really what their role is in this business world, what the differential value is that they can give to their customers in order to both, well, not only make their existing customers happy, but really to achieve what we predict or pray with customer experience from the beginning. The more promoters you have, the more people who recommend you, the more you will grow, because this is the best investment to capture new customers. But really starting from the essential question, what value can I provide and what makes this special about me? And let your customers feel this value that you can provide, and then they will come to be with you and not with others. This is the most important thing that we see for really customer experience in the future. So I just invite you to make these questions for you as a company, and and create from there, from the essential of what you stand for.
Yes, that is like the core values now that the organizations should be adopting is, invest for your customers and you will be like achieving heights. So yeah.
No, but really, and creating it from a strategic mindset, your purpose. Why? What are you here for? If you're only here to make money, well, it's difficult then to make customers love you. You need to understand that the making money is the result of how you do it towards customers. It's the result. It cannot be the objective. And we just saw, we have movements like conscious capitalism. We have seen the manifest of the top CEOs of the Forbes 500 companies in the US who actually signed a manifest that it can not only be about shareholder value, more about customer value and stakeholders, so the giving back to society as well, and not only designing a business strategy based on being the most profitable in the world.
Yes.
It's a result of how you interact and how you really create the experiences based on the great products and services that you can provide, but really adding value and not only thinking of a quarterly results in your profit and loss statement.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Silvana, for giving us your time. I think your insights on customer service and value is like really great, and I know our audiences will really enjoy listening to this interview that you have given.
I hope so. Thank you for counting with me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. So if you all have stuck around for this long, we are so excited to announce that our ebook, The Evolution of Customer Experience, is out and available to download. So you can check the link in the description below for more details. We'll be back soon with a new episode and a brand new expert, so stay tuned. And we'll see you around for the next one. Thank you so much.